रेडियो खांची 90.4 FM हम सबका रेडियो. Myself Dr. Nilu Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Doranda College, Ranchi University, Ranchi. Today I will be talking on the economic implications of COVID-19 as the whole world is grappling with this virus and its devastating impact on economy and mankind. COVID-19 is not only a humanitarian challenge but is also one of the most economically costly global health crises in recent history, which has led to an unprecedented and synchronized stop in economic activities worldwide. According to International Monetary Fund, the global economy during 2020 is estimated to shrink by over 3%, and this is the steepest decline since the Great Depression of 1930s. Raghuram Rajan describes COVID-19 crisis as the worst national emergency since independence. As of now, nobody has been able to predict the vitality, endurance, and longevity of this virus. Till now, no antidote has been developed. If the virus remains to be potent for a longer time, it will have serious implications for the future. After months of complete lockdown, many nations have lifted restrictions and are gradually restarting their economies. In this scenario, it is imperative to have a look at how badly the global and Indian economy is hit. What will be the future repercussions? And will there be a change in the world order? These are some pertinent questions which I have tried to address in this presentation. My presentation focuses on the repercussions of COVID-19 on global and Indian economy, and also India's place in post-COVID world. That is how India can be positioned in the immediate future to become a driving force in the rebuilding of world economy. And being a program officer of NSS, I have also shared a message for the youngsters and NSS volunteers who can play an active role in tackling the future emergencies erupting out of this virus. They can also become a driving force in reshaping, reassessing, and reimagining the future of nation post COVID-19. COVID-19 is different from the past episodes of SARS, Ebola, H1N1, etc. Past epidemics had long-lasting effects on economies through illness and the loss of lives. While COVID-19 is marked by unprecedented and synchronized global sudden stop in economic activity induced by widespread containment measures such as complete lockdown in many nations. Let us see the spread of COVID-19. The virus erupted in December 19 with its epicenter in Wuhan city of China, and by March 20 it spread exponentially to almost all major economies worldwide. The greatest share of cases come from Europe and America. The cumulative number of cases between 1st March to 13th April was highest in USA. As can be seen from this slide, countries begin with similar trajectories, but there has been sudden spike in the number of cases in USA and Europe. China has been able to control the pandemic by following aggressive testing, contact tracing, surveillance, and mandatory quarantine. On the other hand, USA and Europe have shown steepest rate of growth in this 1 month period. As of May 19, the total number of infections worldwide has increased to 49 lakhs, active infections have increased to 26 lakhs, and the number of deaths have increased to 3.2 lakhs. The exponential increase in the number of infected cases prompted nations to adopt containment measures, and these are the nations whose combined contribution in world GDP amounts to 65% of the total. So this shows the severity of the pandemic. The slowdown in GDP estimated by OECD is illustrated in this slide. The figure points to a deep contraction in GDP for the global economy during the first 2 quarters, ranging from 10 to 20%. It is estimated that only in the fourth quarter the global economy would return to the pre-crisis level. For USA, the quarterly contraction is expected to be the largest in the second quarter. China's GDP is estimated to contract by 40% in the first quarter, and by third quarter the economy is expected to return to its normal. Now the big question is where India stands amidst this unprecedented fallout. India has so far about 7 cases per 1 lakh population compared to about 60 for the world as a whole. Although this figure is too low, the economy had suffered due to the complete lockdown for a period of 2 months. Overall, GVA, that is gross value added, in the country is estimated to decline by 9.3% between April and June 2020. The virus has severely affected country's major industries, with finance, real estate and professional services bearing the largest brunt at an estimated loss of 17.3%. Other sectors too have suffered an unprecedented loss. If we see the unemployment scenario in the country, it is the worst one. From January 20 to April 20, the unemployment rate has increased from 6.6% to 26.2%. And the hardest hit are the migrant workers and unskilled laborers in the unorganized sectors. With the imposition of restrictions on transportation sector worldwide, the trade sector also took a hit. Exports and imports saw a drastic decline in the country, especially in the case of essential products such as petroleum, food crops, and coal, among many others. As a consequence of the complete lockdown for about 2 months now, a number of industries like automotive, power, IT, FMCG, healthcare, and telecom are expected to face an unprecedented slowdown. The logistics industry, that is transportation, inventory management, warehousing, order processing, and other supply chain activities, faces a relatively greater impact since unutilized capacity will be lost. COVID-19 impact on logistics have global repercussions that is likely to persist through the end of the year. All these pictures show how badly our economy has been impacted due to COVID-19. Thus, it is evident that the economy is facing a very difficult time. How and when it will return to its normal is a big question. The following steps can help the economy in reviving and coming out of the depression, like Make in India initiatives, emphasis on agriculture and allied activities, adoption of emerging technology like artificial intelligence, automation, machine learning, data analytics, etc., among the other measures. To fight against COVID-19 and to bring back the economy on the growth path, many advanced economies and India have rolled out support packages. While India's economic stimulus package is 10% of its GDP, Japan's is 21.1%, followed by the US, Sweden, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. However, the World Economic Forum expresses its concern that the size of package may prove insufficient for the duration of the crisis, and such programs may be overly reliant on deficit financing. Thus, it is clear that global as well as Indian economy is heading for a sudden and unprecedented recession due to COVID-19. This crisis will catalyze some huge changes and will definitely impact the world order. Many economists view China as a winner in round 1 in combating the crisis and bringing back the economy to its normal. But the nation has lost its credibility in terms of social, economic and political standing. US has gone to the extent of blaming China for spreading the virus. It has also been blamed for sending substandard and used PPE kits, ineffective chemicals and sanitizing material to many nations in need. The unethical practices of China and the debt trap policy to take advantage of the terrible situation prevailing in the world have also come under tremendous criticism. On the other hand, India has shown the world compassion, togetherness, and humanitarian cooperation by sharing with the world the drug hydroxychloroquine. The nation has displayed its capability to become a global player. Seeing the risk of continuing business in China, countries like Japan, Australia, and other developed nations will seek to reappraise their manufacturing and business operation. As a result, the pivotal position of providing the world with an alternative manufacturing hub with access to labor, land, market, and state subsidies is precisely where India finds itself. China will be able to maintain a sizable amount of global supply chain in the post COVID world, but it will be unable to stop the outflow of certain firms which will begin diversifying their supply chains. The process may be slow, but will nonetheless be set in motion. It is going to be a realignment of the world order once India successfully combats the crisis. And finally, I have some message for the youngsters and NSS volunteers. We are facing a tough time, and this virus is not going to vanish in the near future. We will have to learn to live with this virus until antidote is developed. The crisis may be converted into opportunity if you all wish to do that. As it said, any deep crisis is an opportunity to make your life extraordinary in some way. COVID 19 has changed everything. We will witness transformational new normals in the way we work, consume, travel, interact, study, play, etc. Inevitably, cultural and societal transformations will be accompanied by geopolitical and economic one. New opportunities and new roles will evolve once the industries restart functioning. In this change scenario, it's time to introspect and reorient your potential according to the future demand of job market. We already have the advantage of demographic dividend, that is 600 million or half of the country's population is under 25, and this is nowhere in the world. So the future is yours. Harness your potential, adapt to the changing world, and acquire necessary skills for the better employability in the future. It's also an optimum time to contribute to the society and be a part of building a reimagined and resurgent India. NSS volunteers with community experience can assist in ongoing efforts of national, state, and local governments in tackling the spread of this disease. You all can effectively communicate to the diverse and large population, reach out to the poor and vulnerable sections, organize health and relief camps for the disadvantaged and marginalized section of the society, and do a lot of things. You all are doing commendable jobs in spreading awareness through WhatsApp and new technology, propagating do's and don'ts through short videos, posters, and messages. Your work is being acknowledged and praised by our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Your active and greater participation will certainly help government in achieving a full return. Continue doing good work. The tough time today will soon be a thing of past and a bright future will be certain. Thank you.